Okay. Dante's Game Room back with another video. I'm going to be doing this off the top of my head, so forgive me if it's not cohesive or this is yesterday you might have noticed I didn't put out a video. Recently I've started reviewing #1 comic books that every day and releasing one every day. Yesterday's was scheduled to be Red Hood #1. Due to controversy, the book has been canceled. So I canceled my review of the book because there's no point to review a book that you guys can't buy. This is not a political channel by any means. Therefore, I'm not going to go into the politics of the situation. I'm not well informed enough to speak on it. If you want to seek out that information out, everybody else is talking about it. It's very easy to find. I will not speak on it. This channel isn't monetized. So I'm not making or any money off of it anyway. However, if you do want to seek out information about the controversy, there's more informed places that you can seek out that information. This is not a channel for that. I really don't feel comfortable even making this video. However, I wanted to explain why I didn't release a video yesterday. And I can't explain that without bringing up this book because, like I said, this is what was scheduled for yesterday. So instead of putting out a review that I had already done, I had to cancel it and gather up all the covers in my comic book store because I own a comic book store. And we're pulling them from the shelves and returning it to Luna for a credit. Hopefully you get a comic book that we can sell to the public. I want to watch my words very carefully because, like I said, this is not a political channel whatsoever. This is a comic book channel. But this is a comic book that will probably become lost media now. I really don't know what else to say about it. Red Hood is one of my favorite characters. I was looking forward to this book, but now it's a comic book series that has been completely canceled. So I will have to look forward to the next Red Hood comics book series. And like I said, I'm trying to watch my words very carefully. Because I don't want to breathe life to the controversy. This is like the third or fourth time I've tried to record this video. I'm trying to do it off the top of my head. And I get hit in the head with steel chairs for a living for the past 27 years. So I will say that I don't want any hateful comments in the videos about anybody. The only reason I'm making this video is to explain why I didn't make a video yesterday reviewing the new #1 comic book. It's a series I just started, and I felt like you guys deserved an explanation because it's a series I want to continue to review #1 comic books for you guys. And I hope everyone can forgive me for my lack of opinion on this, but I am a comic book channel, not a political channel. I want to focus on the positive aspects of the industry and making us all better as an industry. And like I said, that's why I don't want any hateful comments directed towards anybody in the comments. Please refrain yourself and save that for a different channel. I just felt like I owed you guys an explanation to why I didn't make a video yesterday. And why I canceled it. And the reason I canceled it is because it's a book that you can no longer buy. Now, I'm sure there's comic book stores out there that are going to sell it anyway, and people out there that are going to want to buy it just because it's now going to become a hard-to-find book. I'm returning my copies to Lunar, so I can have a book that I can sell to my customers. I wish I had more to say, and I'm sorry if I disappointed anybody. But with my lack of opinions on the subject matter, but I am not informed well enough to make an informed statement, and I'm not going to seek out the information to become informed well enough on it because I'm afraid it will only upset me due to the controversy and situation surrounding the controversy. We live in a very turbulent time where people are extremely wrapped up in their political views. And for some people, their political views are their way of life. I don't want this channel to become political in any way. I want this channel to be a refuge from all the politics in the industry and a safe place for anybody to come enjoy comic books and discuss comic books in a positive way. It's unfortunate, I believe, that the comic book industry has become so politicized. But at the same time, comic books have always been on the pulse of culture. And we live currently in very politicized times where you can't turn the television on, turn on, the internet, Facebook, everywhere you turn, there's political opinions. I choose to keep mine to myself, no matter how dire the situation is. So, that being said, I'm sorry that I had to cancel my video for Red Hood #1 yesterday. Hopefully I'll put out 2 videos today reviewing new #1s to make up for it. And I'm sorry if I disappoint anybody with my take on this situation or my lack thereof a take on this situation. But I don't feel it's my place, like I said, to discuss it when I'm not informed well enough about it. And I do not want to become informed well enough about it. Um, there's 1,000 other comic book channels out there that can inform you and discuss what has happened with this book. I just so happen have chosen not to be one of those comic book channels. Everybody's opinion is welcome. However, I do not want to think that people can't use their freedom of speech in my comment section, and you may judge and criticize me however you like. But I do not want any hate speech in my comic section about this whatsoever. If you could just respect that for me, I would appreciate it. And like I said, there's plenty of other channels that you can get involved with that conversation. I'm choosing to remove myself from the conversation. I'm sorry if I disappoint people with that take, but like I said, I do not want this channel to become a political channel. I want this channel to be solely a comic book channel that strives to stay as positive as you can, as I can in this industry. Now, I will review comic books, and I will, if I have a negative opinion of them or I think they can be improved, I will give my honest opinion about them. But I only criticize so people, hopefully it could be better, not to tear anybody down or anything like that. I know my review of Batman #1 could have been kind of harsh to some people, but I'm a huge Batman fan, and I just didn't feel as though it felt like Batman to me. But this is my explanation for why I didn't have a video yesterday. I appreciate you guys very much, every one of you that watches my videos. And I'm sorry if I disappoint anybody by not having a take, but I just don't, and I won't. So there's, like I said, 1,000 other channels that can discuss it. This just isn't one of them, and I'm sorry I repeat myself so much. But I'm doing this off the top of my head and trying to watch my words. That being said, thank you. I appreciate you. Dante's Game Room out. Bye-bye.